Iron Fist! Iron Fist! Iron Fist! Iron Fist! Iron Fist! Okay, you know, I mean, it happens to everybody, right? I mean, it's totally normal. It happens to every man. I mean, if they're like stressed out or you know, things just, you know, it's just busy doing writing and doing other things, his Iron Fist isn't going to work every time, okay? It's totally normal. Totally normal. Happens to everyone. Hey everybody, welcome back to Drinks and a Movie. Chris Hamker back with you. Today I'll be talking about the Netflix show Iron Fist. I'm returning to do this because the first time I made this video, none of the audio took. So I'm back, baby. All right, so what drink I'm going to start with is the Iron Fist shot. And the Iron Fist shot is really simple. It is 1 part Bailey's, 1 part Amaretto, and 1/2 part Bacardi 151 poured into a shaker with ice, shaken up, and poured into a shot. So let's make this drink and talk about Iron Fist. Iron Fist is the next in a long series of Netflix Marvel Entertainment shows that include Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. This time I'm gonna double it up because I want to make two of these shots. Anyway, so this time we have Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is about Danny Rand, the Iron Fist, that has returned home after being thought dead to reclaim his family fortune and do the very minimum of iron fisting. And that's about it. And then utter boredom ensues. All right, let's finish this drink off real quick. 2. All right, let's try this bad boy. Here is to the Iron Fist. All right, cheers everybody. Oh, why did I drink with Bacardi 151 right after just shaving? So I'm going to be fair with Iron Fist and do what I always try to do, which is start with the positives. One of the positives, and I think maybe the only positive, is Colleen Wing's character, who's played really well by Jessica Henwick and is more interesting and more compelling of a character than even the main character of the story, which is Danny Rand. Her storyline is very interesting about her cage fighting and trying to run a dojo. There's all really good stuff. There's also David Wenham shows up every once in a while as Harold Meacham, and he's fun to watch because he's super weird, but even that gets old after a while. And then you have Rosario Dawson showing back up, which is nice because it's always nice to have Rosario Dawson there. And she shows up in every one of these series along with Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, but in this one her character is really shoehorned into the story and it just doesn't make sense for her to be there at all. So I thought what I would do is look at this in a different way and talk about what you shouldn't do when making a kung-fu based comic book Marvel action series. First thing is you don't make your main character totally unlikable. And I'm not talking unlikable in like the case of like Sherlock, where he's a dick to everybody, but you enjoy watching his intelligence and the things he tries to do are very admirable. Or even in the case of a guy like Walter White from Breaking Bad, who's essentially the villain of his own story, but the things he does are compelling because he feels like he's doing it for the right reasons, like for his family, most of the time for the right reasons. But in this instance, you've made Danny Rand the most unlikable motherfucker in the world. I'm not totally blaming Finn Jones for this, but he's not off the hook completely. He's sometimes pretty bad in this show, but the writing is terrible. I mean, whose idea was it to take Danny, the Iron Fist Rand, which, by the way, he does about 10% of iron fisting. Whose idea was it to make this guy the most whiny character in all of television? I mean, this guy whines about everything. Even when things are going his way, he's whining about it. Also, he is legitimately an idiot. He does some truly stupid things in this show. I mean, I get the fact that he's been gone and wherever, it's a monastery for a long time, over 10 years, but did any way when he came back think that any of his behaviors were normal or smart? Everything he does was dumb. I mean, on another level of dumb. Second, when making your kung fu based comic book action TV show, do not make 70% of it not about your main character. Instead, you felt the need to fill time with corporate litigation, corporate espionage, family drama, cage fighting, everything that has nothing to do with your main character. Also, this adds to the story problems. Why did Dan even come back? Did he come back to run his family's corporation and his business handlings? If he did, why isn't he ever there to do that? Every time anybody in the business asks him to be there for like a board meeting or anything like that, he was like, oh no, I have other things to do, not Iron Fist. Also, did he come back to fight the hand? Maybe, but who knows? This guy is so easily manipulated that it's really hard to figure out why he came back, or if he even knows how to fight the hand. He doesn't. And, you know, this whole gullible thing, that adds to being the dumbest character in the world. I mean, I've heard of gullible, but goddamn. Look, I'm not saying the character has to be perfect or has to not be you know, gullible in any way, but your main character has to, you know, get involved in an obstacle and overcome it. He just never seems to do that in this show. He always seems to be making mistake after mistake after mistake, and then whine about it, and then not have no idea how to solve the problem, and it just becomes so very frustrating. This brings me to my third thing when making a kung fu based comic book action TV show. Have your kung fu be good kung fu. Have your action sequences be good. I mean, these kung fu moments seem like those local dojo karate demonstrations you see at the food court at the mall. You know, the ones where you're just trying to have a nice slice of Villa pizza, but you just keep getting in the way by these little karate kids, and it's just so loud and annoying. Also, this video is brought to you by Villa Pizza, when all you want to do is find a nice slice of pizza and enjoy it, but all you can find is Villa Pizza. Anyway, I mean, there are, I think, 2 good fight scenes in these 13 hours of television show. There's one where he's going through these trials and he's fighting all different kinds of fighters, and he actually fights a guy that has the drunken master style, and that's very fun. And then there's another fight sequence in this room full of computer servers. That's 2 good fight sequences in your kung fu based comic book action TV show out of 13 hours of show. That's not a good ratio to have there. I mean, I honestly can't think of one compelling reason to watch this show. I mean, it is truly one of the worst television shows I've ever seen. And I told a friend that, and she said, well, what, did something terrible happen to you while watching this show? And I think she was implying that there are worse television shows out there, and that may be true. There's shows like Cavemen or The Ghost Whisperer that are pretty terrible, but those shows fail on pretty much just one aspect. They fail on being, you know, a supernatural drama or a sitcom. This show fails on multiple levels. It fails on being a family drama. It fails on being a kung fu show. It fails on being a corporate espionage show. It fails on being a law show. And most importantly, it fails on being a Marvel superhero show, comparatively to the other ones like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage even. I mean, maybe it's unfair to compare them, but they're all in this same kind of line, and they're all going to team up this August in The Defenders, so I think the comparison is valid. Iron Fist this. Look, I'm going to give this show 1 drink out of 5. It's not good. It's not worth watching. Just realize there's going to be a character in The Defenders called Danny Rand. Hopefully he's not going to be whiny. But I saw the trailer, and I'm starting to blame Finn Jones a little bit about the acting. He doesn't seem to be very good in the trailer either. Anyway, thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. Let me know what your favorite Marvel Netflix show is. Mine, I think it's a tie between Daredevil Season 2 and Jessica Jones, actually. I really like Jessica Jones. Anyway, cheers, everybody. Have a drink on me. Thank you so much for joining me.